a month. Live from Southwest Florida's news source, Fox 4 News at 10.
I want to cry every time when I see the news because I know my people there is suffering a lot, and I would love to do something else.
People in Southwest Florida connecting with the tragedy in South America. Thank you for joining us for Fox 4 News at 10. I'm Malcolm Johnson. Residents in Fort Myers gathering at Lakes Regional Park this morning to help those affected by a 7.8 magnitude earthquake that hit Ecuador last week. 4 Your Corner's Samantha Sosa was at the park talking to residents who were personally affected.
Malcolm, Ecuador's government says the death toll has risen to nearly 700, with more still missing, and the president says the quake has caused $3 billion worth of damage. Residents in Fort Myers with family ties to the country doing what they can to help.
This is medical supplies, everything that I'm doing now.
People in Fort Myers doing something to help after a magnitude 7.8 earthquake devastated Ecuador last week.
A lot of people have lost their families, they have lost their jobs, they have lost their homes.
For some, like Jamie Cafe, the earthquake hit home. She was in Quito, the capital of Ecuador, when the disaster struck. Even hours away from the coast where it happened, the earthquake could be felt.
And I felt really strong. The movement was unbelievable, and it lasted for 3 minutes. When it finished, we knew that something really bad happened.
And the effects, heartbreaking.
They are lacking food, in water, and they are really having a very bad moment. I should say this is the worst moment that my country is at this time.
I love my country, and it's just sad to know that it was hit by this tremendous earthquake, and obviously the people were not ready, and economy-wise it's just going to take us quite a few years to be able to recover from it.
That's why people from Fort Myers have come together to send at least a little bit of relief to the country.
People from here, from the U.S., Fort Myers, people from other Hispanic countries have also come together, and we're receiving great donations, so greatly appreciated.
The group collecting needed items like water, canned food, sleeping bags and covers, medical supplies, diapers, and toiletries at Lakes Park, loading it into this yellow truck to deliver to the Consulate of Ecuador in Miami to be flown to the country. Volunteers hoping people will help out whether they know someone in the country or not.
The community is not that big, but the response is really, really good.
12,000 were injured and about 130 people are still missing as a result of the earthquake. But first responders in the country have been able to save close to 200 people that were trapped in the disaster. That truck we saw was sent to Miami today, but their main collection center is at the McGregor Baptist Church on Colonial Boulevard. They received plenty of clothes and shoes, but are still in need of canned food, water, medical supplies. Anyone who wants to donate can take items there for the next 15 days. In the studio, Sam Sosa, Fox 4, in your corner.
Thank you, Sam. Florida Highway Patrol officials investigating a fatal accident in Lehigh Acres this morning. It happened near the intersection of Gunnery Road and Sunset Road. One of the drivers failing to stop at a stop sign, colliding with another vehicle. 53-year-old Marlene Mendoza was the passenger of the vehicle that failed to stop. She died at the hospital. Cape Coral police investigating a fatal crash near the intersection of Del Prado Boulevard and Northeast 6th Street. The crash happening after a car ran a red light, striking another vehicle that was making a left turn at the intersection. The drivers of both vehicles were transported to the hospital. The driver of the car that was hit, 93-year-old Harry Wilson, died at the hospital. A man in Cape Coral getting quite the surprise today when his truck rolled into the canal. The driver says he was parked next to a house on Burnt Store Road and thought the truck was in park, but it was actually in neutral. The truck eventually rolling into the canal. A tow truck was able to get the truck out. There were no injuries. San Carlos Park Fire District working a fire acre brush fire in the area of Alico Road and Airport Hall Road today. The moderate to heavy fuel brush fire is not threatening any structures and is 100% contained at this time. Airport Fire Rescue, San Carlos Park Fire District, and DOF responded to the scene. San Carlos Park Fire District will remain on the scene.
Seeing a few spotty showers rolling across southwestern Florida right now. Very isolated at that. You can see the line working up its way towards Tampa Bay. Really not going to impact the forecast because it's happening overnight. By the time we get through tomorrow morning, all of this will have moved out. Things should be fairly quiet out there, but you may hear the pitter-patter of a few raindrops in some local areas tonight. Taking a look at temperatures out there right now, not too bad, sitting at 76 right now in Punta Gorda, down towards areas like Fort Myers, 77 in Naples as well. Winds at this point are fairly light, anywhere from about 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the southeast, and that's moving those showers off of shore. Dew points, though, it is a little bit humid out there tonight. You'll be noticing that, and the dew point sitting about 65 to 68. And then as we take a look at your morning weather here, it's actually not a bad start to your day. Partly cloudy skies, some sunshine by the time we get to 10, 68 to about 76. Your full forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Trevor. Despite a firestorm of controversy surrounding HB2, one of North Carolina's top-ranking Republicans says he'll fight plans to repeal or change it. The law, which limits protections for the LGBT community, will be at the corner of the upcoming short session of the General Assembly next week. State Senate Leader Phil Berger is defending the law, saying he doesn't see the need to amend it, even with the negative attention the measure's getting from across the country.
I am not, as I stand here, ready to say, and I don't know that I would at any point be ready to say that we're going to make any changes. I just don't see the need for it.
Lawmakers returned to session Monday night. Several Democrats are backing a bill to repeal House Bill 2 altogether.
There's blood all over the house. Okay. My brother-in-law's in the bedroom, and looks like I beat the hell out of him.
Chilling new details are being released after 8 members of the same family were shot dead in a small Ohio town on Friday. The community is trying to come to grips with a horrific shooting spree in their town. Police don't know who killed the family or why. As Nick Valencia reports, investigators have released 911 calls made right after the shootings.
Yes, I need a deputy at 40.
It is difficult to hear.
I think my brother-in-law's dead.
The sound of agony as a relative discovers members of her family have been murdered in cold blood.
Man, you gotta tell me what's going on. There's blood all over the house. Okay. My brother-in-law's in the bedroom, and looks like I beat the hell out of him.
The ruthless killings, apparently calculated attacks in 4 separate homes. Police tell CNN they believe the suspect or suspects were familiar with the victims. The 7 adults and 1 16-year-old apparent targets. But why? Police have not released a motive or named a suspect. For this tiny town of about 2,000 people in southern Ohio, the senseless nature of the slayings is simply too much to understand.
It's just unbelievable, really, this has taken place.
Phil Fulton was pastor to some of the victims.
I think maybe the most disturbing detail in all of this is the fact that one of the victims was killed next to her 4-day-old baby.
I cannot believe how anyone could kill a mother with her 4-day-old baby in her arms. That's out of my realm of thinking that anyone could do that. How heartless.
With no official leads, late Saturday, an Ohio businessman offered $25,000 of his own money to help catch the killer or killers. Jeff Ruby has no connection to the family, but says that he wanted to get the word out to find the person or people responsible for this.
Okay, just stay out of the house. Don't let anybody go in there, okay? Yeah. All right, we got deputies on the way, okay? Thank you. You're welcome.
Investigators saying they have found pot-growing operations at the scenes of the shooting spree. Now, no word on if marijuana was connected to the shootings. A teenager suspected of shooting 2 students at a high school prom in Wisconsin last night has died. Police identifying him as 18-year-old Jacob Wagner. Police said 2 students were shot as they left the building where the prom was being held. Their injuries are non-life-threatening. The police chief said officers in the parking lot heard the shots, and one immediately fired on Wagner, who later died at the hospital early this morning. One of the shooting victims has since been released, the other transferred to another hospital. 3 federal agents injured during a shootout at a motel in Kansas yesterday. The incident happening as officers from the U.S. Marshal's Office and FBI were trying to arrest a man at a motel. Officers say someone opened fire on them as they approached the suspect's room. That same person then setting the room on fire, destroying the motel. The agents shot during the incident were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. A body was found in the motel room. No word if that body is the suspect. It has been nearly 15 years in waiting. A 28-page report on the 9/11 terror attacks may soon be released. What secrets does it hold? Plus, KFC surprise, what a woman found inside her box of chicken that left her feeling ill. But first, a Cape Coral man isn't letting his disability become his roadblock. His inspiring story is coming up next on Fox 4 News at 10.
There's a chance of some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Find out when that'll happen coming up.